Now, US President Donald Trump and Japan Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi on Tuesday signed a framework agreement for securing the supply of critical minerals and rare earths through mining and processing. The countries plan to cooperate through use of economic policy tools and coordinated investment to accelerate development of diversified, liquid and fair markets for critical minerals and rare earths. Trump praised Takaichi's elevation as the country's first female leader and a pledge to accelerate a military build-up. A similar close relationship with the leader of Japan's key security and trade partner could help Takaichi bolster her political position at home. Takaichi in turn also expressed her desire to realize the new golden age of Japan-US alliance with Trump. Trump said that Washington is an ally of the strongest level.
We are an ally at the strongest level, and it's a great honor to be with you, especially so early in what will be, I think, one of the greatest prime ministers.
Trump also met with families of Japanese abducted by North Korea decades ago and said the US is with them all the way and as they ask for help to find their loved ones. Trump is due to deliver a speech on Tuesday on the USS George Washington aircraft carrier docked at the US naval base Yokosuka. He will also have dinner with business leaders, likely including the chairman of car maker Toyota. This comes as Trump, on the second leg of his Asia tour, met with Takaichi. The talks focused on trade and security a week after the hardline conservative became Japan's first female leader and vowed to accelerate a military build-up. Trump arrived in Tokyo on Monday for a visit sandwiched between a trip to Malaysia and a meeting in South Korea with Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping that could ease the bruising trade war between the world's two biggest economies sparked by sweeping US tariffs. The car industry accounts for around 8% of jobs in Japan. Most Japanese imports into the United States are subject to tariffs of 15%, less painful than the 25% first threatened, but still contributing to a 24% slump in US-bound car exports in September in value terms year on year. All right, DD India's Dibyendu Mondal joins us for more. Hi Dibyendu, how significant is this deal on critical minerals and rare earths, and what does it mean for global supply chains?
Well, Abhishek, this deal comes in the backdrop of the ongoing trade war that is underway with the United States and the many other countries that are currently engaged in a tough tariff war with the United States. Rare earth Therefore, this deal which the US President Donald Trump has signed with Japan will give a boost to the manufacturing industry in the United States, because it will keep the supply of these critical minerals ongoing as far as these minerals are concerned, as you know, that China has put in restrictions with the export to critical minerals, and of course China controls about 70% of these rare earth minerals. That is in control of the Chinese government. So therefore, this deal with President Trump and Japan is significant in context to the manufacturing industry and to the vision of US President Donald Trump.
Also, Dibyendu, this meeting comes during Trump's Asia tour. Tell us, how does Japan fit into his broader regional agenda?
Well, Abhishek, you know, Japan is a strategic partner of the United States, also because of the Indo-Pacific region and US's key interest in this particular region. Also, the fact that it wants to keep China in checks by building greater relationships and stronger relationship with Japan. So, therefore, the relation between the US and Japan is critical, because the fact that US sees this particular region in the global context as extremely important and critical to the geopolitical situation in the Indo-Pacific region and to keep China at bay.
Dibyendu, also before we leave you, I mean, the agreement focuses on securing critical minerals and diversifying supply chains. Tell us, how does this align with Washington's goal of reducing dependence on China?
Well, Abhishek, as I have been telling, in fact, it's evident from this deal with Japan, where the dependence on China would now be reduced for the United States, because, as I said, China controls about 70 to 80% of these rare earth minerals, and therefore, with Japan and US now signing this deal, will perhaps give the much needed flexibility for the United States in terms of getting these minerals, which are critical to industries like the semiconductor, to the IT industry, to the EV, as well as the newer industries which require these minerals in the manufacturing sector. And US President Donald Trump's vision, of course, is to increase to increase the manufacturing sector in the United States, and therefore the ready availability and supply of these rare earth minerals is critical to the vision of developing the United States as a manufacturing hub. So therefore, dependency on China it is envisioned, in fact, by the US President to reduce the dependency on China. But of course, but having said this, Abhishek, China still holds about 70% of these critical minerals in its control, and of course, China has tightened the grip over the exports of these rare earth minerals as well.
All right, Divyendu, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs.